Okay, the last bit of your review 2. Okay, we are going to move on to question 8, which is on mass. Okay, what is the mass of the fish? So if you look at this, okay, 2 picture, the fish is here. Now remember, Mrs. Chai teach you the strategy to find each interval. Do you remember that? Okay, so let's recall how to find each interval, because not each interval is 1. Not all the time it's 10, it's not all the time it's 100, sometimes it can be 200, sometimes it can be 500. So how do we make sure? Okay, so always remember, we look at the first number, 1 kg. 1 kg, now those who got this wrong, you're going to write this down together with me. Okay, 1 kg is how many grams? 1000 grams, right? So write this down. This is very important knowledge that we must know. Okay, so to find each interval, remember, we need to find, number 1, we need to find the spaces. So let's count the spaces that reach to 1 kg. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It needs 10 space to reach 1000 grams. So write this down together with me. I think 1 or 2 of you actually wrote this down, and I'm so proud of you. Okay, so how do we find each interval? 1. Remember, we learned about 1 each. What do we do? Divide. So we take 1000 divided by 10. Okay, so the answer is 100. So each interval is 100. So what is the mass of this fish? Okay, so it passes 1 kg, right? It passes 1 kg. So it's 1 kg. How many grams? Again, each interval is 100. We know this slightly longer bar is 500. So let's count from here. 500, 600, 700 grams. Now for those of you who wrote 1700 grams, I mark it correct as well. Okay, it's the same. Alright, but because if the scale shows kg, we might as well write in kg. Okay, what is the mass of the lobster? So it's the same scale, we don't need to count again. But we know that the needle passes 2 kg. So we start with writing 2 kg. How many grams? So 100, 200, 300, 400 grams. Okay, so those who wrote 2400 grams, again, same thing. It's the same. So I marked you correct. Now, next question. Which is lighter? So look at these two. It's very obvious. This is 1 kg. This is 2 kg. The fish is lighter. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Isaac went for a soccer match with his friends at 4:25 p.m. It ended 1 hour and 45 minutes later. What time did the soccer match end? So we have learned this for the topic time, right? So start time, remember ST is actually 4:25. What does this tell us? 1 hour and 45 minutes later. This is actually the duration, how long it lasts. Now what did they want to ask is actually the soccer match end. What time does it end? So we need to find the end time. Now this one we cannot just plus or minus. We must use the timeline. Okay, so let's look at the timeline. Yeah, we start with 4:25 p.m. So we add the hour first. So 1 hour after 4:25 p.m. is 5:25 p.m. Okay, this is straightforward. Now then we need to count on, right, to reach the next hour, which is 6 o'clock. So 5:25 to reach 6 o'clock. How many more minutes? Okay, so we know that in a clock, 5:25 means that the minute hand points at the number 5. If I want to reach o'clock, do you remember what number must it point to? It must point to 12, right? So we still have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this minute hand must go more than half the circle to reach 12. So how many more minutes to reach 6 o'clock? So let's count. Each number represents 5 minutes, right? So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So therefore, okay, we add another 35 minutes, okay, to reach 6 o'clock. Now, the duration of the soccer is 45 minutes. So how many more minutes must we add to reach 45? 10 more minutes, right? So therefore, 6 o'clock, now it's easier to count. 6 o'clock plus 10 minutes is actually 6:10 p.m. Okay, so the soccer match ended at 6:10 p.m. So for those of you who do not know how to count the minutes, you can always draw the clock out, okay, so that it's easier for you to see how many minutes to reach the next o'clock or how many minutes to reach the next time. Okay, now let's go to question 10. Add the fractions, express the answer in its simplest form. Okay, we have learned all this before. Okay, let's look at question A. Again, 1/3 plus 5 out of 12. These are unlike fractions. So what do we need to do next? We need to find the equivalent fraction of the same denominator, 12. So how can I change 1/3 to 12? Remember, we multiply, right? Times what? Times 4. So if we times 4 at the denominator, we must times 4 at the numerator. So therefore, the equivalent fraction of 1/3, we're changing into a like fraction, same denominator, is 4 out of 12. Now, a lot of you stop at 4 out of 12. But hey, you need to add. How can you forget this partner? So you must plus 5 out of 12. Do not just convert and stop there. You're supposed to convert already to like fractions, and then now you can add them. So 4 plus 5 is 9, and the denominator is 12. Now, is this the final answer? No, because the instruction is very clear. You need to make it into a simplest form, to its simplest form. So what number can we divide both the numerator and the denominator? Divided by 3. So therefore, 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3, 6, 9. Okay, 12 divided by 3 is 3, 6, 9, 12. So how many fingers are you counting? 4. Can we divide any more with the same number? No more. Therefore, the answer is 3/4. Okay, so those who are wrong, do not just write 3/4. You are supposed to write the whole thing now again. Next, question B. 3/4 plus 1/8. Same thing. Which number do we change? They are unlike fractions, right? So we change the one with the smaller number. Okay, the smaller number. So which is this? 3/4. We want to change to the like fractions of 8. So 3/4, how do I get 8? Times 2, right? Times 2. So if denominator times 2, numerator also multiply by 2, you will get 6 out of 8. So now you write 6 out of 8 here. Do I stop here? No, the instruction says add, not convert to equivalent fractions. So remember your fraction over here, plus 1 out of 8. Therefore, your answer is 7 out of 8. Okay, now let's move on. This one, can we change it into its simplest form? No way we can divide by the same number. There's no number that we can divide it for both. So let's move on to subtraction. Subtract the fractions, express the answer in its simplest form. Again, subtract, simplest form. So let's begin. Same rule. 2 out of 3 minus 1 out of 6. Which one do we change? We change this, right? Smallest number. Okay, I'm not saying smallest fraction, smallest number for the denominator over here. So let's change 2/3 to a similar denominator, which is 6. So how do I convert to 6? Times 2, right? So times 2 times 2. Therefore, the answer is 4 out of 6. So now we bring this down. Again, remember instruction. Look at the equation. Minus. It's not asking you to convert only. So don't stop there. 4 out of 6 minus 1 out of 6. Therefore, the answer is 3 out of 6. Now, can we change it to its simplest form? Yes, for this case. What number can we divide for both the numerator and denominator? We can divide by not 2, but 3. Because in the 3 times tables, we also have 6. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 3/6. So how many? 2. Therefore, the answer for this is half. Let's go to 7 out of 9 minus 2 out of 3. Which fraction do we change? This one, right? So 2 out of 3, I want to change to the same denominator. So out of 9. How do I change these to the same denominator? With times 3. So if this times 3, this also multiply by 3, you will get 6 out of 9. So again, do not stop here because we need to subtract. So bring this down. 7 out of 9 minus, we change the fraction, right? To a like fraction to minus 6 out of 9. You will get 1 out of 9. Now, is there any way we can divide to make it into its simplest form? No. Therefore, the answer is 1 out of 9. Okay? So children, for this, I hope that you can better understand and make sure your workings are written neatly as corrections so that you can revise for your exams. Okay? So I've come to the end of review 2. I hope you have a better understanding of how to do those questions that you have made mistake on. Alright?